All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Sports Brotherhood. Got Timmy
Woo!
and James in the house,
Yeah, you
What's
heard?
and I like that woo! Whoever said that was good because
somebody's excited?
USA, USA, USA did that thing. So that was much needed, much needed. So I'm with you there.
He's
Love
there.
it. The first big win of the Olympics against quality opposition, 105-78. That was on Wednesday. James, you actually called that. I was way off, so big credit there. You called that blowout.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I need to go to Vegas. I need to let this ride on something that's actually going to get me a little money.
Ride that wave.
I like it. Exactly, and you also won our other friendly bet with your boy Bogdanovich. You said he put up, what, 28?
I said 25. He put up
Five or more?
28, so yeah.
Yep, that gives me the big 0-2. So, credit there. So, let's get into it real quick. Like I said, Argentina, they were the number one seed coming in. Lost to, what was that, Spain, the last day of pool play. So they lost to Spain, went from the one seed, dropped all the way down to the four, matched up with USA in the first round, and got that ass beat 105-78. We finally looked good doing it. We finally had some rhythm. We finally had some flow. We finally played some defense. I'm loving it. What about you guys? Who wants to start?
Man, I'll get it started. Honestly, it was a little bit shaky at first because we got down by 10, and I was like, oh man, America, you better pull your head from your ass. But Katie started clapping. Started getting some open looks. The biggest difference, like that most people don't have, is the depth of their bench. And when Cousins and PG came in there. Oh man, it was only destined for them to have a great game. I mean, because it was about time, man. It was
I
really
liked
about
that they put DJ in the starting lineup and brought Cousins off the bench.
time.
I
Me
thought that
too.
really helped out a lot.
And that makes usually when you do that, it makes Cousins hungrier to play, and it also makes a PG harder to play, PG-13. So I mean, at the same time, I'm just happy we got, but it looked more dominant because of the depth that came off the bench and provided that. And KD carried us. If it wasn't for him, we'd be having a whole nother discussion, man. Oof.
Yeah, that was a nice little bounce back performance from him. He was kind of, I don't want to say he was
Shaky.
struggling. Yeah, he
was
didn't have his rhythm going. So,
Mm.
James, what do you got?
Well, I think where things really started turning around was, Argentina, the only guy that they had on that team that could play down low at all is Scola, and he got his third foul fairly early in the first half, and
Couldn't
once
hang
he
him.
was out, there was nobody that could even defend it all down low, so that became kind of a bloodbath in the paint.
Cousins was taking it to him. That's why he had
Yeah.
3 fouls, because he was just beating down low.
But even then, I mean, there's no way Scola himself couldn't handle the United States, whether it was Cousins or, mostly Cousins, I think, down low. But he couldn't handle him. But then once Scola was out, then it was really over. None of those other guys even had a chance. But I think this really came down to Argentina came out quick. Their older players, Nocioni, Ginobili, and Scola came out with a lot of energy. And then they're just too old to keep that up over 40 minutes. So, but even above and beyond that, even if they were in their prime, this U.S. team would have beat them just because Durant was on fire. He had 6 assists, I mean, for Durant. So it wasn't like he was just outgunning. I mean, the guy was moving the ball. And I think that became infectious with the rest of the team, and you just kind of looked at everybody, and they were looking for that extra pass. There wasn't as much isolation. It was more of a team game.
The weird part of it is we only had 21 assists, but we were still playing the right way.
Yep.
It wasn't, and I mean, it's one of those things, and I'm guilty of it, just like everybody else is. Sometimes, you watch a game, and then afterwards, you you kind of have a good feel for it, and then you look at the box score, and you're like, oh, it didn't feel like that. It felt like we had probably 30 to 35 assists because we were getting out, we were running, we were moving the ball, and what was it? The Serbia game. I want to say that we had more assists than Serbia, but it didn't feel that way. Like it didn't feel like it was in the flow of the game, and that was really refreshing to see that, you know, it may not have came down in the box score that we were passing the rock, but the overall flow of the game was so much better.
Well, they were getting easier shots. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why it felt like we had more assists in this game, is because it seemed like the shots were a lot easier this time around.
Yeah, because it was in the paint, and the best part about that was Scola. You see, Scola and Cousins were jawing back at each other. It got a little chippy at the end, you know, because they're getting blown out. They still got their pride. It felt like it was a home game for Argentina, because that crowd, man, it felt like a soccer game. And even though they were going out, you feel Ginobili like it was his last game, you know. You feel bad for him. It was like, it reminded me of Kobe in his last game, but it was like, you know, that was the last time that core will be together for Argentina. And even more, Campazzo, that kid, man, that's a feisty little fucker. Okay,
yeah.
Golly, he like tries to like do all the little dirty things and all the little chippy things. He has history at USA, but he was like trying to like trip up Kyrie and land on his leg and stuff. I'm like, come on, dude. But he could possibly play in the NBA. I could see him going to like a Spurs or something, and he'd be a nice player. But man, it was a good game. I liked it. It was good.
One thing that we gotta give Zoe credit on this. He called they need to play Kyle Lowry more.
Yes, they did.
And Lowry played 24 minutes to Kyrie's 16.
Yep.
His defense obviously was much better. And one of the things that I thought Coach K did, I got to give Isaac a little jab here, but one thing that I thought Coach K did that was phenomenal coaching was, we already talked about Cousin coming out of the starting lineup, but bringing Lowry in for Kyrie. I think Doug Collins talked about this during the game, is that they're both such poor pick-and-roll defenders that they were essentially just, all right, hey, we'll bring Cousins out 18 feet from the basket. He's not able to move his feet. I don't think he really even has the, I want to say, awareness. Like, there's so many times in all the other games that he just was just not paying attention. Yeah, exactly. So they started DJ. You know, Lowry played a lot more. That helped their defense. And, you know, like we said, they once they get out and run and they're able to use that athleticism, Jimmy Butler as well. I mean, that's what we needed. Like, that's really what we needed. And once we get that rhythm and that flow, like, it's me being a Warriors fan, it's so funny watching this team and the Warriors because both of them are so rhythm-based that in the what do we had? Australia, Serbia, France. Like, we were getting open looks, and they just weren't falling.
Nope.
But this game, it just felt like everything, it just felt right. It was clicking. We're getting out running, stopping. And, I mean, like, when you're playing and you get some stops and all that, and you just have that energy when you're coming down the floor, when you're taking it out after every position because you're not getting any stops, it's just kind of like, all right, we're going to set up the offense. But when you have that pep in your step and that bounce and you're running down the floor looking to just go at someone, we brought that back, and the score, you know, reflected that dominance. So that was...
We got our swagger back.
Good, Jim.
I guess I got my swagger back.
No, the best part about that, though, is after he pulled Kyrie back onto the court, you see Kyrie play a little bit more fired and motivated because he was drawing a lot of fouls after he came back in because he was more aggressive because he didn't want his spot to get taken. You know, it was good. It was great. It was what was needed. He was pushing the buttons. Coach K knows how to do that better than most coaches out there. I mean, even
I'm with you there.
Coaches. So it was good. It was beautiful. I loved it.
And it was good to see Draymond get a little bit of PT.
About time.
I mean, Scola is pretty much the perfect matchup for him because he's undersized. So throw him out there and, you know, let him do his thing. But that was good to see him get some PT.
Stripping left and right, like a Nevada showgirl.
Feisty. James, got any input on that? What do you got?
Well, I was going to say, you know, the guys that didn't get a whole lot of playing time, Kyrie, Cousins and Draymond all seem to really make the most of their time. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Draymond had 3 rebounds, 2 assists,
Mm-hmm.
a block, and a couple steals. So he was just
Mm-hmm.
active in this limited
Mm-hmm.
minute. And I think both Cousins and Kyrie came in there with a humble, like they're a little bit humbled almost.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they put in everything they could in the limited amount of time. I mean, DeMarcus had 15 points in 13 minutes. I mean, that's pretty big right there.
I think that was, like we said earlier, with him getting Scola into foul trouble. I mean, he literally, when you don't have size to match up with him, you can't stop him because he's so skilled and he's so big.
Mm-hmm.
And his free throws, man, like he literally, like when that ball comes off his hand on the free throws, it looks like a guard is shooting it. It's soft, it rotates perfectly, like totally underrated from outside too.
And he made a lot of threes this last season.
Yep. I did not think he had that in him, to be honest.
Oh, I knew he had it in him. This is a matter of time, man. This is the system who you're playing under, and also the comfortability you feel in the offense. That's all it is, man.
And I mean, modern day, you got to stretch the floor a little bit if you're big.
Yeah,
and I think you also have to be able to pass. I mean, the really great teams right now, it seems like they're big men. Whether it's Marc Gasol, obviously Joakim Noah when he's freaking healthy. That's why I think if he's even halfway, even anywhere near healthy this next season, he's going to really help out the Knicks. But Cousins can pass.
Don't forget
the
other Gasol. Don't forget Powell.
Yeah.
He plays the Spurs.
Powell's a great passer too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of moving on to the Spain game that we have tomorrow. They have the size, so that's kind of one of the things that, I'd say one thing that's kind of, dawned on me when I was watching the game yesterday. I think one of the things that has gone, a little under the radar with us is we get so many offensive rebounds. Like, I can't even tell you how many times, and I don't know what it is. It's not like we're like fighting extra hard. Like our guards are getting rebounds at the 3-point line. I don't know. I mean, I haven't looked at all the stats as far as offensive rebounding, but I would say we've got to be like plus 15, plus 20 overall on the offensive glass. Like and when you give a team like us or any team of shooters that many offensive rebounds and second chances, I mean, that's huge.
Cousins survives off that. He thrives off of that. You get Boogie any time you give him an offensive rebound, most likely it's going right back up, and it's too strong and it's skilled just to let you gain position and put it right back up because that's just automatic almost. He shot 7 of 9. What was it?
It was pretty high.
It was ridiculous, man. Like 16 points.
6 to 10. Yep, 6 to 10.
6 to 10. Man, it was bad, man. Ugh.
No, but you were talking about the U.S. and the offensive rebounds. They're averaging 14.7 offensive rebounds for the Olympics, and the next highest team was Brazil at 12.6. So, they really were rocking that out.
Yeah, you figure you space that out over how many games they played now? 7? 6.
6.
So about 12. Yeah, that was pretty close. But yeah, that's one thing I don't know that we will be able to do against Spain is crush them on the offensive glass. Powell's not a great rebounder, but they do have some size, and they're going to be stretching the floor with Powell, hitting the threes that he's been hitting in the Olympics with that shorter line. So we did get that huge win over Argentina. It was needed. I was dead wrong, and I'm glad to say it. I thought they were all going to be close games. I do think this one against Spain, though, it's going to be a nail biter. They don't have Serge that they've had the last few years, and then I feel like there's one other person that they had before that they don't have.
Marc Gasol, maybe?
Oh, yeah, yep, there you go. Touche. I wasn't thinking of him, but that was the glaring weakness. Thank you for pointing that out.
They honestly, if they had Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol, you could actually make claims of. I mean,
Them being the favorite?
Well, them being the best front court,
Yeah.
you know,
Easily.
for the Olympics. So, um,
If they had both of those guys, we only have two bigs. I mean, Draymond's a big, but he hasn't really played that much, mainly due to performance. But also,
Yep.
we've been playing some big dudes. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know. I think that would have given us some problems, but luckily that's not an issue. But James, what are you seeing for the Spain game? We kind of touched on this last time, but what do you got there?
after seeing these games yesterday, I feel like it's going to be tight through the third quarter, and I just still think that we have too much depth, and I think that some of the better players for Spain are really getting older, and I don't know. I think that the U.S. is going to pull away and win by double figures, but I think through three quarters it could be a 2-3 point game, but then after that I think it's over.
You know, it's funny because that's almost exactly what I thought. But I hate myself for saying this because I know how good Spain is. But like I said, they're missing so many factors. So I seriously think that this game is going to be over after the first half. I think it's going to be really close nip and tuck in the first quarter, and then the second quarter we're just going to pull away maybe like by plus 15, and then we're just going to coast it out the rest of the game. I really do.
Oh, no love for Spain with their. I mean, they've been crushing.
I know.
They've been crushing teams.
I know. That's what I'm trying to say to you. I think, but the depth of USA, it's just too much. Their front five people are solid,
but wouldn't you say that Spain's the only team in this tournament that can even somewhat match our depth? I mean, they got four guys off the bench.
Australia, and I only say Australia just because they have NBA championship pedigree.
Oh yeah.
You know, like that people understand how much that makes a difference in your play. And then the fact that, I mean, I honestly want to say Spain will make it last longer, but I don't think that they have the horses to do it. Their depth isn't as deep as America. Like, it's not even close, bro. And then they're going to pull away in the second quarter. I see it.
I would say that their depth, they got Juan Carlos Navarro that kills us. They got Sergio Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
They got, who's the other guy? Claver.
Rubio.
No, he starts. I'm just trying to think of their bench.
I know, I'm just saying.
Does Meritic, he starts, right?
Yeah, I think he starts as well.
No, Nocioni starts.
And he could go off.
No, Andre Nocioni starts.
That's Argentina.
Oh, yeah, I'm tripping, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, but Spain's got this young guy. He's going to play for the Knicks yesterday, Willie Hernan Gomez.
Mm-hmm.
And that kid, that kid's got, he can't shoot outside, but if he gets inside, he's got great footwork and he doesn't miss from inside. And he's I think he's 19 years old. And that's a guy that's you keep your eye out. He's the future of Spain.
I'm gonna build for the future. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But other than that, bench wise, then you got Jose Calderon, who's pretty much spent. Once it gets to the bench,
smart though. He can play the game the right way, hit some open shots. But yeah, he's not what he used to be.
Mm-hmm. Who is, man?
Father Time, undefeated.
Undefeated.
I'm gonna beat him.
I'm gonna take him one-on-one, and I'm gonna take him behind the woodshed and put it to him.
Oh God.
Exactly.
So what? You gonna become a vampire? Is that what you're telling me?
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. Okay.
Do I need to get a little sun? Am I looking like a vampire?
You know what? You know what? Call me Blade. I'm on board.
All right, so I'm gonna say, let's see, Timmy, you said it'd be over after the first half.
Yes, 15.
So what are you saying?
It's gonna be at least 15 points.
Okay. James, what was yours?
Right around that double figures, but it's gonna be a pull away at the end.
It's gonna be like 12 point lead at the first half, and they're just gonna pull away.
I will say it's going to be like every other Spain game. I'm going to say it's going to be really close, going up to 4 minutes, and then we'll pull away and win by 7, just like 2012. So
as long as Melo doesn't shoot 3 for 10 again, We'll be good.
I mean, James, you kind of mentioned this last time. I mean, it really does come down to them just making shots.
Mm-hmm.
If they hit their open shot, Clay had a wide open three this last game.
Mm-hmm.
Hit it off the backboard.
It is a different ball, man.
He better figure this out before November.
It's him and Draymond, man. Like neither one of them have played well, and I mentioned this again last time, but I think this is needed for Draymond, man. Like he needs to take it down a notch. He's a warrior. He's my boy, but he's got to take it down a notch. He's putting an unnecessary bullseye on his back, and just chill the hell out. Stop taking dick pics. Stop kicking people in the dick. Like, just chill out on that.
Stop being a dick, okay?
Exactly. That's the trifecta. That's the dick trifecta right there.
The dick factor.
Don't be showing, don't be kicking, and don't be being.
Yeah.
Right there.
I'm half expecting to find out that he was in that bathroom with Ryan Lochte. So
Oh, that was fun. That was good.
Fraud.
All right, so we got kind of a blowout, James. Timmy, you're saying blowout. I'm saying close game. We'll definitely see. I'm bitter that it's at 1:30, but
hey man, I just got a new job. That's cool with me.
no, not even that. Like I'm gonna watch it, but it's gonna get terrible ratings. Like this is the best matchup of the entire Olympics, probably the entire Olympics, because I mean Spain is like our big rival, and it's on at 1:30 in the middle of a weekday.
You know, but you gotta think about it. The events and stuff that go on. You know, like what time is that there? You know,
it's not that different. Like because when you think about it, they're what is it? Longitude and latitude. I can't remember which is which.
Close.
It's pretty similar. Like it's pretty similar, and. What like the other game's at 5. They have Serbia and Australia. Serbia and Australia is at 5, and we have 1:30.
my body wouldn't even be awake at that time. Okay,
What?
man.
5:30 at night, not in the morning.
At 1.
In the afternoon?
Yes, like even like I can play like basketball and stuff, but I'm not gonna be at my peak performance. No.
1:30 in the afternoon. They play games. What?
No, I'm not saying me. I'm saying like if I were an NBA player, because you're used to playing later games.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I mean, you practice and stuff all day. This and that, but you're actually playing a real game, like where it matters. So I don't know who's gonna be at their peak and who's not. I know Kyrie's gonna show up. I'm telling you that right now. Kyrie will be serving pancakes to everybody, all right? But we'll see who else steps up. I don't know if it's going to be PG or KD, but somebody else got coming. Man, I don't know who's going to be there.
Touching on the whole playing during the day thing, they tracked the of course they track every crazy stat, but J.R. Smith on day games on Sunday, like noon, 1:30, things like that, shot like 22%.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Like, dude, he's out till like 4, just clubbing, and then he's like, oh.
Alcohol doesn't get out of the system until 5 p.m., so.
That's just alcohol. Lord knows what else is in the system.
Yeah, seriously. Coming to games with no shirt or anything. Sorry, coach. I left my shirt at the club. My bad.
Left at the club, man.
All right, so we got, like I said, blowout, close game. We'll definitely find out tomorrow, but I kind of want to touch on Usain Bolt. That's kind of been the thing that I've been watching besides basketball. Just locked up the triple-double, won the gold in the 100 and 200 in 08, 100 and 200 in 2012, 100, and then tonight got the 200 ran a 19.79. He was trying to run sub 19, but that was. I mean, that's a tall task. I think the world record is like 19:19, but
maybe 4 years ago.
Oh my God! In 2008, that was like that 100-meter dash that he broke the record in was just.
And he slowed down, man.
Yes.
He slowed down.
He could have had I think it was a 9.69. He could have had like 9.
He could have broke
9.6.
No, he
9.6 flat.
He probably could have broke like man. I don't want to even talk about it. It's just disgusting. Ugh.
I was kind of halfway I don't want to say disappointed. So before the race, because he was saying like, hey, I want to break 19 seconds. I want to break 19 seconds. So he had his hamstring. I was like, well, he's not going to break 19. Like, we'll see if he gets, like, I thought he was going to get really close. I said he was going to get like 19.2. And then once he hit, because he came around that first 100 around the curve, and then once he hit the straightaway, I was like, he's gone.
Ooh.
But he didn't. Everyone else kept up with him pretty well. He didn't pull away too much, but a gold's a gold.
Yep.
Gold is a gold.
This is probably his last rodeo, him and Phelps.
Yep, that's greatness. And honestly, I'd say, obviously, I wasn't alive to see what's his name, Jim Thorpe, with his like 13 golds or whatever it was. But man, modern day, like Carl Lewis obviously is up there, but from what we saw, Phelps and Bolt, greatest Olympians ever. Like
for today, yes.
Exactly, for today.
And then don't forget Jesse Owens, but yes, for today, yes, they up there. They at the table. Yes, they are.
All right, well, it was a good little episode. I say we maybe reconvene here sometime after the Spain game and kind of touch on that, and hopefully we get this blowout. Hopefully I'm wrong again for the second straight game. So
yeah, I don't have any nails left, so let's let this be a blowout.
Unfortunately, I bite my nails way too often. So
if they don't get this blowout, man, just know I might feel a little bad that night, and I might drink. It's Friday, who knows? Who knows, man? I might feel bad.
I'll be having several beers either way.
That'll
be celebratory beers, I'll tell you what.
Absolutely.
Man.
Absolutely.
Let's get it done, America. Blow out. I'll call it.
Bring on Australia!
You'll see.
Patty.
All right, well, we're out now, but we'll be back sometime after that USA game, and we'll be discussing then. So.
All right, sounds good.
All right, out, y'all.
Deuce.